Alright, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to episode 17 of the return to the SWF. We are here for our go-home show to the Awesome Impact pay-per-view. We have 3 matches pre-booked, 2 that will be booked on the show, and a lot of news to go over in the week. A lot of shit's been happening. The first thing that happened was APW, Australian Pro Wrestling's Felix Harding, got busted for being in a steroid ring, for peddling steroids. Here's a picture of it. Usually with these scandals, more things happen. However, this happened either the Wednesday after last week or the Thursday after. And nothing yet has come of it, so maybe more, maybe less. I'll keep you posted. I just thought that was really funny. So, and for those of you that haven't seen stuff like this, here's what it looks like. So there you are. Up next is that I got the message, so every now and then, when a company starts making mass hirings of independent wrestlers, or not independent wrestlers, just unsigned exclusive wrestlers, so like if they work for FCW or something, and they're on a handshake deal, you know what I mean, when a big company's making signings, there's that message where it's like, incoming for TCW, for 21CW. This time it was incoming for USPW. And I'm like, oh god, the poor careers of these young wrestlers are about to be ruined. Who's getting killed? Whose career's gonna be ended before it even begins? And the only fucking signing they made was Texas Pete. For those of you that don't know Texas Pete, he is a complete drunk. He's a complete asshole backstage. He's got a decent amount of popularity, so like if you're starting a company, you'll sign him and then drop him after a year when you've built up other people. But dude, Texas Pete is not worth the hassle. Darkness Warrior's retiring, and I like the Darkness Warrior, so that's sad. That's bad news. But in good news, Everest is leaving the business. Fuck yeah, fuck Everest. Everest sucks. Fuck Everest. And the last thing that happened is Reaver apparently went to Pride HQ. Reaver's the former Hell Monkey. He goes to Pride HQ and he fucking screams at Shuji Unaki. Just fucking screams at him. Storms out of the headquarters. It's just happened. It was so wild. So weird. He fucking just yells at the head booker. So, fun week in news. Other than that, we have our show tonight where we will have Fame and Money and the Awesomeness taking on the Dallas Cowboys and Hawaiian Crush, just kind of a hype match for the 2v2v2v2 that's going to be at the pay-per-view for the tag titles. Joey Morgan's going to get revenge on Primus Allen, hopefully, tonight, and his hopefully. And in our main event, Hollywood Bret Starr and Randy Unleashed will team up to take on ZWB and Angry Gilmore. I think that's everything. Yeah, let's just get into the show. So we open the show with Remo, who has been training his ass off the whole week. Just storms out and he's like, how many times do I have to fucking say it? No more new stars. And what does Eric Eisen do? He signs a new star. Well, Eric, unfortunately for you, your new star's about to get killed. Fro Shore, get your ass down here and fight a real challenger unlike Des Davids. Fro Shore gets down here because he wants to get booked, and he actually holds his own decently. So, dude, they don't even have, oh man, I scripted it too. Oh my god. Ugh. Remo's too over for his skills. No. I'm not going to sit here and say it was a completely even match, but Fro Shore did make it go 4 minutes. He got a good few spots in, but Remo controlled most of the match and did end up beating Fro Shore. And Remo, he came out, like, he had that training. He was probably training for, like, 10 days straight. And he's fucking, like, he's, like, a new man out there. Wrestling completely, like, more viciously, taking out Fro Shore. 70 rated match, and he's ready to kill Fro Shore until Steve Freely runs out to make the save. And Steve Freely, not going to just sit here and let Remo beat the shit out of Fro Shore for no reason. So, Steve Freely runs out, brawl ensues. We move on to a promo or an interview segment by Finn Bruiser, who's being interviewed by Anna Garcia, and Finn pretty much just says, look, I know I've only been with this company for about a month, but don't underestimate me, Des, Squeaky, neither of you. Don't underestimate me. What I did to Mikutsi wasn't a one-time thing. Because I can do what I did to Mikutsi, I could do that to you. I could do that to anybody in that locker room. And that the world is watching, the whole world will watch me mop the floor with you, Davids. Good luck, pal. 56. So after that, we get a promo by Dominic D'Souza, who just kind of explains what happens. He had that one match with Joe Sexy, where Joe Sexy was in his corner. Joe helped him win. And on screen, everything looked great. And then as Joe got back there, he's like, you know what, Dom? You're not that good. You're fired. And he just left him in the dirt. And Dom's like, that broke me a little bit. Like, what the fuck do I need to do to get ahead in this company? Nothing seemed to be going my way. And for like a good month there, I was just droned out. Kind of out of it. Just going through the motions. And then I saw Mainstream and Steven Parker fighting the Team Sexy, and I'm just noticing the two guys that Joe eventually went with, Sammy Smoke, Bear Bukowski, they're cool and all. It's just a shame that they're almost swore again. I'm trying so hard not to say the F word. It's the one word I don't want to say for kayfabe reasons in SWF. I see Bear, I see Sammy, and they're just drones. Pawns in Joe Sexy's little game. So, being fired by that manipulative cunt was probably the greatest blessing in disguise I've ever seen. Because now that I've regained what's going on in the world, I'm so happy that I don't have to sit back and be a stepping stool for 45 or 48 or 6. He looks 60, so it doesn't matter how old he is. For 70-year-old Joe Sexy to get on TV again. And eventually Joe Sexy and Sammy Smoke come out and challenge him to a match. And there's the big face turn for Dominic D'Souza. Self-made man gimmick got an initial rating of poor, which is upsetting. But the turn was a success. And his re-debut match was a success, getting a 65. Pinning Sammy Smoke with the Widowmaker. Interference by Joe Sexy clearly did not have enough of an effect to cost him the match. And afterwards, well, Bear Bukowski runs out, and of course it's a Team Sexy beatdown until Robbie Retro, he runs out, he's going to make the slave, and he's clobbered by a fucking lariat by Bear Bukowski. And then the beatdown continues, and it's like, where are Hernandez and Parker? And then they come on the Titantron, laid out with Chris Angel there, and it's, Spencer Spade and Brandon James laid them out backstage. So the heels win tonight for this this story. Following that, we have Adam Smasher in the locker room with Domination. He's like, the fate of the SWF depends on the outcome of Saturday's match. And I know it might not be the nicest thing to do, but sometimes to be the good guy, you gotta be the bad guy. Alright, so when Lenny Brown comes out to the ring, when we both get in the ring, guys, alright, I'm gonna untie my shoelace and pretend like I don't know how to retie it. This will get the ref in a huge panic and help me retie my shoes, but little does he know he'll never get it because I'll keep untying it when he's not looking. And while I'm doing that, you two need to run out with lead pipes and just destroy Lenny Brown's legs. Make sure this man cannot walk again. I want to wrestle him in a wheelchair. Make sure the bell already rings so they can't void the match. All right. And then Avalanche and Chill are like, okay, whatever. And they're in the locker room and the door is wide open and it just pans over to see Eric Eisen just fucking looking at him. He's like, Avalanche, Chill, Kristen, you're all banned from ringside. Either you show up during that match, you're fired. And then he walks away. And Smash's like, no! 87. We get the 4v4 match, and in a kind of surprising outcome, probably for a few of you, the heels do not win. Despite being much more over than the baby faces, the heels do not win. Ranger pins Monty Trescarde with the global meltdown after a botched chair interference by BJ O'Neill. She throws in the chair to Monty, but throws it in and taps the ref's foot. Ref notices the chair, and he's like, throws the chair back out, and Fame and Money get the match costed to them by BJ O'Neill, and they are furious about this. They are furious, and they're yelling at BJ O'Neill. Paul and Monty are yelling at BJ O'Neill in the ring. She's like, I'm sorry, I was trying to help. Huey and Jefferson eventually step up, and Paul Huntington exits the ring, and they're like, you get the fuck out of here. What are you guys yelling at her for? It's not her fault. You're all the fucking worst. And while this is happening, Paul went out to the ring, and he got 2 chairs. He puts one on the ground, and eventually the Awesomeness begin to walk away, and BJ O'Neill's behind them. And then immediately Monty turns BJ around, and him and Paul Huntington hit the fucking 3D on BJ O'Neill, face first into that chair. I made their finisher. I added a finisher to them called the Stock Market Crash. I just imagine it's a 3D. So they do the fucking 3D on the chair, and then right before the Awesomeness can do anything about it, Paul quickly gets up and then fucking gets that other chair and fucking concertos BJ O'Neill just for good measure before they retreat. And the Awesomeness are pissed. They're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you fucking kidding me? So yeah, don't fuck with Fame and Money. Jesus Christ, dude. They just murdered a woman. BJ O'Neill's contract's expiring, and that's how we're writing her out. This is her last show. Her contract's over tomorrow. Alright, 82 for that. Following that, we have a quick promo by the Crippler. Just kind of like basking in his own glory. Like, Freely and Remo, they got the right spirit. Unfortunately, they're too busy fighting each other to actually be able to beat me. They're too focused. They're too focused on beating each other down that this triple threat match that the world is watching might just be the easiest match in my title reign so far. You always got to keep your eye on the prize. Neither of my eyes have left this prize since it came on my shoulder. 94, that sounded a little sus. Following that, we have Joey Morgan versus Primus Allen, and Randy Unleashed being booked later tonight means that Randy Unleashed was not here. He's not going to help out if he wrestles. And the Awesomeness are kind of dealing with BJ O'Neill right now, so Primus Allen does not have anybody to fall back on. But he doesn't really need anybody to fall back on. He's just still a little green. He's still a little young or new to the SWF. So he is bested here tonight by Joey Morgan in 15:25. Empire Spiral, 78 rated match. Good stuff. Good stuff. Speaking of Huey, Jefferson, and BJ, Huey and Jefferson come back and they are pissed at the Rat Pack. They're like, Randy, did you fucking see? Did you see what those two monsters did to BJ? Look, we both know, all three of us know what you need to do. You need to walk out on Hollywood Bret Starr tonight. Don't go to that main event match. They are evil. Like, they're psychopaths, dude. They did that to BJ. What could they do to like an actual wrestler? What is wrong with them? And Randy's like, no, I'm not gonna take a loss, dude. Who cares? We'll find a new girl. And Huey and Jefferson are like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? And Randy's like, no, I'm not taking a loss, dude. All right, you figure it out, guys. Figure it out. All right. Look. Just because you guys took a loss, you can't blame that on your teammates, all right? It's not Hollywood's fault that Monty and Paul did that. It's like $50, we'll get a new one, all right? Jesus. Help me tonight. We'll show the real problem. Who's boss? Okay, come on. guys. Get over it. Huey and Jefferson are like, what is this a fucking joke? Is this a fucking joke? 83. And we get a interview with Anna Garcia via satellite, Rocky Golden Valiant, and John Greed. I didn't really write anything down for this one. It's just kind of a hyping the tag match at the pay-per-view. Scythe doesn't talk. He's not going to agree to be satellite. He's Scythe. He's too spooky for that. So yeah, Rocky and Valiant, just promo battle with John Greed. Anna Garcia officiates it. It's all via satellite. 88 for that. And then it's time for a main event, which gets an 82. Good shit. Love to see it. And in the main event, ZWB and Angry Gilmore come out on top, pinning after Gilmore pins Randy Unleashed. Thanks to Randy not having anybody at ringside. The absolute apathy towards the BJ O'Neill situation really screwed over Randy here tonight. Just Insensitive was not enough to put off Angry Gilmore and ZWB. And we end the go-home show of the Supreme TV. We end our World is Watching go-home show with Joey Morgan coming out. All three of them, a big old baby face celebration. They all won their matches tonight, and they have the momentum going into them. They have the momentum with them going into the pay-per-view. All right, 80 and 87 show. Fuck yeah. Oh man, that is that's a show. That is a good show. Hey, it's Jack. Or sorry, it's Joey Poison. I think they're actually cousins. I think that's the yeah, they are cousins. If Joey Poison wasn't retired, I might have actually brought him in for the save. I like Joey Poison. And BJ O'Neill has moved on. Her contract's expired. Should we steal Elliot Thomas? No, we shouldn't. Total Cuck Wrestling, I'm not even going to humor this. Like, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? Dude. What is this Tana the Mighty main event push we're doing? Like, why are we humoring this? Why is this a thing? You know, it's not. You know what? I know. I come across like I hate TCW. I don't hate TCW. I just want good wrestling, and TCW doesn't fucking provide that. So, yeah. Oh, Elliot Thomas is just not getting re-signed. Oh no, poor guy. Poor guy. He's actually not bad. I'm not gonna bring him in, but he's not bad. Like really? God. I'd rather watch Benny Benson versus Jeremy Courtney than fucking... Dude, literally, like, we're booking fucking bangers on SWF and just... fuck is this? Alright, that's gonna do it for this episode of the Return to the SWF. Oh, you know what? No, let me do a rundown of our... Me when I don't do the rundown, there goes the supremacists. Get angry. Let's do a rundown of the World is Watching match card. So we're going to open the show with Des Davids versus Finn Bruiser. Then it is the 4v4 Team Sexy, Bear Bukowski and Sammy Smoke versus Bear Bukowski, Brandon James, Sammy Smoke, and Spencer Spade versus Dominic D'Souza, Jimmy Hernandez, Robbie Retro, and Steven Parker. Then the SWF World Tag Team Championships. Awesomeness versus Dallas Cowboys versus Fame and Money versus Hawaiian Crush. Then we have the 3v3 of Angry Gilmore, Joey Morgan, and ZWB versus Hollywood Bret Starr, Primus Allen, and Randy Unleashed. North American Championship, Adam Smasher versus Lenny Brown. Semi-main event, Rocky Golden and Valiant versus Scythe and John Greed in a tag team match. And then in our main event, triple threat match, the Crippler defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Remo and Steve Freely. So, I'm looking forward to this show. This show is really lining up to be something special. Yeah, let me know who you, let me leave your predictions in the comments if you want. If enough people do it, then whoever gets the most predictions correct, I'll showcase their comment and I'll pin it if I remember. I think I'll remember. I don't see why I wouldn't. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you return for The World is Watching 2020. And yeah, come back.